Geo Brags, doing the geography and also the brags, yeah. Two.
Oh yes! One of the best 22 hosts over the age of 22. Geo Brags.
Two.
Welcome back to the Global Cities Tournament 2024! My name is Geo Brax. I am your host for episode number 12, the first of 4 consecutive episodes in the second round. Can you tell that we're just a bit excited around these parts for the second round?
The city of Lyon, France is making its first ever appearance in a second round at the Global Cities Tournament. In the first round, Lyon swept Sion, and now Lyon is one of only 2 French cities remaining. Lyon's next opponent is the number 29 seed, Madrid, Spain. Madrid have been here before and are looking to advance back to the third round for the second consecutive tournament. Madrid swept Doha in the first round. Madrid is one of 2 Spanish cities remaining in this tournament. Next up, we have another city that is returning to the second round for the second consecutive year. That is Houston, Texas, the first of 8 U.S. cities in the second round. In the first round of this tournament, Houston defeated Helsinki thanks to its city nickname of Space City. The number 8 overall seed and defending champions, Seoul is one of 2 South Korean cities in the second round. In the first round of this tournament, Seoul swept Lagos. Seoul has only lost 4 categories so far across its 8 career victories. Next up, we have the number 9 seed, Hong Kong, coming back to the second round for the second time. In the first round of this tournament, Hong Kong swept Brisbane. Can Hong Kong get back to the third round? Facing Hong Kong will be the only city from Belgium, that is the city of Brussels, which recorded its first ever win in the Global Cities Tournament in the first round against Lima. Will Brussels be able to push it to the third round? Next up, we have the only city from Portugal, that is Lisbon. Lisbon defeated Kuala Lumpur in the first round. This is the second straight tournament in which Lisbon has made it to the second round. Facing them will be the number 26 overall seed, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Toronto is the first of the 3 remaining Canadian cities to begin second round play. In the first round of this tournament, Toronto defeated Ho Chi Minh City. Either Toronto or Lisbon will be making their first ever appearance in the third round.
Lyon versus Madrid. 2. 1. Four. 11. 5. Extra. 9. 'To begin the second round matchups, we have one of only 2 intracontinental matchups here in the second round, and both of these cities recorded sweeps in the first round. We have Lyon, France taking on the number 30 overall seed, Madrid from Spain. And my dear friend Not Ricked has given us healthcare index as the first category. Both cities very strong here. 77.0, 79.9, but it's going to go to Madrid, up 1-0. The second category is which city's average high monthly temperature is closest to 23 degrees Celsius. One of them is 21.04, the other one 17.38. As you might imagine, Madrid closer to the equator, closer to the third round with a 2-0 lead. Third category is which city has the higher density. Madrid with 5,300 people per square kilometer. In Lyon, it is 11,000 people per square kilometer, bringing it back to a fourth category. Which city has the most visited museum? The Prado Museum in Madrid. 3.2 million visitors last year. And in Lyon, the best numbers we could find were 680,000 annual visitors for Le Musée des Confluences. And that's not 3.2 million. And that means, Madrid, you're going back to the third round. Houston versus Seoul. 4. 3. 15. 16. 2. Extra. 3. Next up, we have the sole remaining city from Texas, that is Houston, taking on the sole remaining city from Seoul, that is Seoul, the defending world champions from GC 2020. Can Houston pull off the major upset? First category is given by Not Ricked was the city with the highest population density in Seoul, South Korea, that is 16,000 human beings per square kilometer, and in Houston, Texas, that is 1,389 human beings in the same unit of measurement. A 1-0 lead to the champions. Second category is which city has the yearly number of rainy days closest to the target score of 120. Seoul. And Seoul is good at everything. Every category. 106. Very close to the target. Houston, 122. Seoul finally loses the category in GCT 24. News alert. Third category is carbon emissions per capita, and an actual bad category for the champs. 13.0 tons of carbon dioxide emitted per person. In fact, Seoul is the city in the world with the highest number of total carbon emissions. However, Houston is still a city in the United States and comes in with a pathetic 14.6 tons of carbon dioxide emitted per person. So, Seoul, you're up 2-1. Fourth category is the public transit rating from the Oliver Wyman Forum. They are both on this rating list. Houston in 44th out of 65. Seoul in 13th out of 65. Seoul going back to the third round, 9-0 all time, undefeated. Hong Kong versus Brussels. 14. 1. 9. 5. 3. Extra. 3. Up next, we have the number 9 overall seed Hong Kong taking on Brussels, the sole representative from Belgium, for a spot in the third round. First category is Happy City Index. Hong Kong unranked, Brussels 43rd. So we're going to the World Happiness Report, and out of 186 cities, 114th position for Hong Kong. 40th for Brussels, a 1-0 lead. The second category is which city's average high monthly temperature is closest to 23 degrees Celsius. 26.04 in Hong Kong. In Brussels, 14.25. We are tied again at 1. Third category is given by my dear friend Not. Is which city has the highest ranked university on the U.S. News Report? We have l'Université Libre de Bruxelles in 226th position against the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology in 95th position, Hong Kong on the verge of the third round. The fourth category is which city's major airport is closest to the city center? HKG, 31.9 kilometers away in Brussels Airport, BRU. 12.5. And for the first time in the second round, it's the fifth category, subjectivity, coming into play. And GeoBrax, what do you think? Which city has the best landmarks? I'm glad you asked.
I didn't.
In Brussels, we have the Grand Place, where you celebrate the soccer team getting third place in the World Cup. You have the Atomium, the building we're using in the slides for Brussels. We have Palais Royal, Parc du Cinquantenaire. And in Hong Kong, we have the Avenue of the Stars by Victoria Harbour. On Lantau Island, we have the Tiantan Buddha, the Poland Monastery. And the best part of all, taking the tram up to Victoria Peak for sunset. And you know what that means? It means Hong Kong are going back to the third round. Lisbon versus Toronto. 4. 10. 16. 17. 5. Extra. 8. 'In the final second round matchup of the top half of quadrant number 1, we have the number 26 overall seed, Toronto. The final city from Ontario alive in this tournament, taking on the only representative that Portugal ever had, Lisbon. First category is which city has the higher population density. In Lisbon, it's 5,446 people per square kilometer. In Toronto, 4,428 per kilometer squared. A 1-0 lead to Lisbon. Second category is given by Not Richt. Was which city has the busier airport? YYZ, Toronto Pearson International. 35.6 million passengers per year on the LIS Lisbon Airport. 33.7 million. Both categories have been relatively close. We're tied at 1. Third category is the public transit rating. Lisbon not ranked by the Oliver Wyman Forum, who we hope expands the ranking before the next tournament. 36th position for Toronto. We're going to the daily ridership. 475,000 daily riders on the Metro of Lisbon, 44.5 kilometers. In Toronto, 1.03 million daily riders, 70.1 kilometers of track. However, Toronto is between 2 and 3 times larger than Lisbon, so it's a draw. Plus, Lisbon's very famous for its trams. It's picturesque. It's a push category, the 4th. Quality of living ranking. Lisbon coming in solidly 39th position. Toronto coming in solidly 17th position. A 2-1 lead for Toronto. We have to go to the extra category, which is the combined heights of the three tallest buildings in it's a European city against a major North American city. We know where it's going. Torre de Monsanto, Torre San Gabriel, Torre San Rafael. A combined height of 340 meters in Toronto, three tallest buildings. First Canadian Place, the St. Regis, Toronto, Scotia Plaza, 850 meters. Toronto to the third round.
Vancouver, British Columbia is the second of three Canadian cities in the second round. Vancouver exercised its demons by advancing past Osaka in the first round off of the best nature category thanks to Stanley Park. As it has in its previous two matchups, Vancouver will be facing an Asian city. This time it is Chennai from Tamil Nadu in India. Chennai have made it back to the second round for the second consecutive tournament, but this time they had to win two matchups to get here. In the opening round, it was Pune, and in the first round, it was Rome, a city that Chennai defeated on the back of having better nature, specifically Besant Nagar Beach. Guadalajara, Jalisco is the first of two Mexican cities in the second round. Guadalajara has made it back to the second round for a second consecutive tournament after defeating Chongqing. Number 25 overall seed Sao Paulo is the first of the three Brazilian cities in the second round. Sao Paulo snuck past Manchester, England in the first round on the back of having a better city slogan, namely, I am not led, I lead. Sao Paulo is one victory away from equaling its third round performance from GC 2020. Number 23 seed Bangkok is into the second round for the first time ever after defeating Bogota in the first round. Can Bangkok keep it rolling? Frankfurt from the state of Hesse in Germany is the first of four German cities to take part in the second round. Frankfurt have made it to the second round for a second consecutive tournament after defeating Jeddah in the first round. In its first ever appearance, Bucharest managed to notch a first round victory over Johannesburg. Can the Romanians keep the upsets coming? Well, they would have to do so against the second of the 8 American cities in the second round, and the number 1 overall seed, New York City. New York City survived the first round against Kaohsiung on the back of having a better stadium, namely Arthur Ashe Stadium. After a run to the round of 16 in GC 2020, can New York get farther this time around?
Chennai versus Vancouver. 1. $13. $8. $7. $1. Extra. 12. In the first of 6 matchups in the second round that will not be featuring seeded cities, we have Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and at number 78 overall, actually higher ranked than number 118, the Darlings from Tamil Nadu, India, Chennai, a city that has made it out of the opening round to the second round. The first category here is going to be Crime Index, a respectable 42.0 from Vancouver, and a respectable, more so, 39.6 from Chennai, a 1-0 lead to Chennai. Second category is Total Michelin Stars. There are 9, and they all belong to Vancouver, tied at 1. The third category is given by Not Ricked, was the combined heights of the 3 tallest buildings in the city. In Chennai, tallest building is SPR High Living District, Building H. After that is the House of Hiranandani. And in tied for third, we have SPR High Living District A or B. A combined height of 77 meters. And in Vancouver, we have Living Shangri-La, the Paradox Hotel, Vancouver, and the Butterfly for a combined height of 568, a bit closer than you would expect from a North American city, but nevertheless, a 2-1 lead to Vancouver. We go on to which city has the largest company headquartered there, and neither city appeared on the Global 500. We have the Indian Bank going up against TELUS Communications. Indian Bank revenues is $6.5 billion per year, and TELUS $11.3 billion per year. So Vancouver, for the first time, into the third round. Guadalajara versus Sao Paulo. 4. 9. 3. 13. 2. Extra. 8. 'Next up, we have the major city of Jalisco in Mexico. That is Guadalajara taking on the number 25 overall seed Sao Paulo from Sao Paulo State in Brazil. First category is highest population density. It is 1,492 human beings per square kilometer in Guadalajara. 8,005 in Sao Paulo. 1-0 lead to the seeded city. Second category is which city has the higher ranked university. Well, we have Universidad de Guadalajara going up against Universidade de Sao Paulo. Well, the one in Sao Paulo is ranked 120th in the world, and the one in Guadalajara is ranked 1,361st. At least it made the rankings, but they're down 2-0. The third category for the sweep is which city has the number of rainy days per year closest to the target score of 120 in Sao Paulo. 197 is much higher than the target score in Guadalajara. It's significantly lower, but 86 is closer. So we're going to the fourth category. Which city has the higher number of total Michelin stars? And again, it's 9. And again, they're all in one city, Sao Paulo. You're going back to the third round. Bangkok versus Frankfurt. 3. 4. 5. 9. 5. Extra. 16. 'Up next is the number 23 seed Bangkok, the only city from Thailand in this tournament, taking on Frankfurt from Germany. First category is given by Not Rick's. It's pollution index. It's a bad pull for Bangkok, 77.5 against 36.3. Frankfurt with a 1-0 lead. Next category is which city has the higher population density. 3,100 versus 5,300. Bangkok has tied it. We're going to the third category. Which city's airport is closer to the city center? 13.3 kilometers away. FRA Airport from city center of Frankfurt. What about BKK Airport in Bangkok? 34.7 kilometers away. Frankfurt on the brink of its first ever third round appearance. The fourth category is which city has the highest ranked university? We have Chulalongkorn University in 547th position. And in Frankfurt, we have the Goethe University Frankfurt. 236th position, that is good enough. And Frankfurt keeps on dancing to the third round. Bucharest versus New York City. One. $14. $7. $12. $1. Extra. 3. And in the final mashup of the second round here in quadrant number 1, we have the number 1 overall seed, that is New York City, survivors of a first round 5th category, thanks to having Arthur Ashe Stadium. New York will be facing the only representative from Romania in the tournament, that is Bucharest, the debutantes. The first category of this matchup is which city's average high monthly temperature is closest to 23 degrees Celsius, 17.08, 17.16, and that is within the margin of error here. So, second category tied at 0. Happy City Index, Bucharest, not on it. World Happiness Report, 81st position for Bucharest, 30th for New York City, up 1-0. Third category is going to be which city has the little larger company headquartered there. We have Verizon Communications, grossing $133.6 billion, number 54 on the Global 500, and in Bucharest it's OMV Petrom at 9.7 billion. So, the 2-0 lead in New York. To the fourth category we go. Which city has more foreign tourists per year? 1.3 million in Bucharest. In New York, 10.8. New York City, you're going back to the third round. Thinking it over, Quadrant 1 went somewhat according to plan. We have 6 of the 8 seeded cities still alive going into the third rounds. What you guys think of episode number 12? We got 4 different continents that advanced to the third round. We'll see if this trend continues in episode 13, which will be the next episode. And if you want to keep up to date with the brackets so you can follow along, challonge.com/GCT24. The Discord is linked below so you can look at the research done on the episodes to determine the category winners. And yeah, the second round will be chugging along. 3 more episodes to go, starting with number 13. I am your host, Gio Brax, and we're glad to have you here on the Global Cities Tournament 2024.